Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to be giving you my Super Bowl prediction. So this video is going out a lot later than I wanted it to, but that's because I was sick after this week and you guys can probably still hear it in my voice. But yeah, let's get into this Super Bowl prediction video or Super Bowl pick video. Some of you guys might already know who I'm picking to win the Super Bowl. If you guys didn't see my NFL playoff prediction video, maybe you don't, because in that video I did it when the wild card games started. I predicted everything before the wild card games. Honestly, that prediction wasn't very good, but I did pick the Rams to win the Super Bowl, so I feel a little good about that because, you know, I would like to be right about that. I would feel good about myself if that pick actually ends up being correct. So I am taking the Rams to win the Super Bowl. I'm sticking with my pick that I picked before the start of the playoffs, or right before the playoffs started, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, the other team's obviously the Patriots, always there. Like, feels like my whole life, every Super Bowl I watch, the Patriots are there. I was born in '99, so you can just figure out how old I've been to understand football and that type of stuff. And of course, last year I think was one of the first years I rooted for them to win the Super Bowl because they're playing the Eagles and I'm a Giants fan, so I was like, okay, go with the Patriots here. And of course, they lost. You know, it was probably just like, they're like, oh, Lauren's rooting for us this year, like, screw her, let's lose. Yeah, obviously that didn't happen. Just, I'm a crazy person, that's how I think in my head. Not really, but yeah, so let's talk about the Rams here and why I'm picking them to win. Honestly, all three teams on that football team are very solid and clearly actually very good because they're in the Super Bowl. Special teams, honestly, their punter Hecker with that fake punt to throw it for the first down in that Saints game, that was just a huge momentum turning point in the game. That was huge. And obviously Greg Zuerlein hitting that insanely long game-winning field goal in overtime, so clutch. I mean, that thing was perfect. Special teams, very solid, very important. Then you got the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, I think the two huge names that are the two biggest names I feel in the Super Bowl, or the players that need to have the biggest impact in the Super Bowl on the defensive side of the ball, are Sue and Aaron Donald. And then on the offensive side of the ball, obviously Todd Gurley, who's been kind of quiet recently, C.J. Anderson, who's been kind of a breakout guy, and Jared Goff, and Brandon Cooks. Let me mention Brandon Cooks too, because he's someone I think who can have a big impact in the Super Bowl. So we can start with what the offense has to do, because I just mentioned them, to beat the Patriots. I think what the offense has to do is establish more of a run game than they had versus the Saints. They didn't have a great run game going versus the Saints. C.J. Anderson was in for most of the time. Todd Gurley wasn't really in, but even Anderson didn't have a great game. So the Rams, they should try to get that run game going, especially Gurley. If they can get Gurley and Anderson going, I mean, that's going to be very hard to stop. And then if Goff just, you know, manages the game and plays the game the way he has been playing it, like he did versus the Saints, they're going to be in good hands. And also Brandon Cooks is another name to look out for clearly, because he's a guy who I think can just, he's so fast. I think he could just break off a few big catches, you know, just break away from the quarterback on a few plays. And if Jared just finds him, especially if they have the run game going and can get some play action going, I think that's going to be a guy who can have a really big game. So yeah, I think if everything goes well, I think Cooks can actually have a huge game. Defensively, I think the main thing they got to do is stop that run, stop Sony Michel, James White, and just don't let the Patriots rely on that run game, or just don't let them pound the rock, as they say, and pressure Brady. I mean, that's going to be another thing, to see if they can get through that offensive line. It's going to have to be a big day for Aaron Donald and Sue. Like I said, those guys are going to have to be getting into the backfield and just making it hard for Tom Brady, and, you know, clogging up that middle for that run game. There needs to be a big game for that front line, for that defensive line. Quarterbacks obviously have to do their job too, like Talib and Peters and those guys, but I think what it's really going to come down to is that defensive line right there. And then, like I mentioned, the special teams. If what's his name, Greg Zuerlein, I was going to say Hecker, but that's the punter. If Greg Zuerlein can just hit field goals like he was last week, the Rams are going to be, you know, in a good shape if stuff like that could happen. If they can get down the field and consistently hit field goals while not letting Brady score touchdowns, they're going to be in good shape. And yeah, I guess that's like my short little video. I mean, obviously there's more to the game than that, of why I think the Rams can beat the Patriots and why I'm picking them to beat the Patriots. I think defensively, they edge out the Patriots. Offensively, if they do have that run game going, I think they can beat the Patriots. I'm not going to say, oh, I think the Rams offense is better than the Patriots offense straight up, because, you know, Brady's special and I don't want to disrespect him like that. But I do feel if the Rams do get that offense, I mean that run game going, it's going to be too easy for Jared Goff, and especially the way Sean McVay calls those plays over there. I mean, that's what I'm going to say. So, yeah, definitely it's like, just, I'm thinking right now, it's definitely going to have to be a huge game for Aaron Donald. And Brandon Cooks, I think, is another key name that we're going to have to see, and Gurley. So, yeah, those are just, I guess, 3 guys to look out for, 3 guys that I think could have big games if the Rams, you know, get this going. And another thing I think the Rams should try to do, which they couldn't do versus the Saints, is get out to a lead. You know, they're a young team in a big game. If they could get out to a lead, it should be interesting to see how the Patriots fight back, which I know they will, but it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be bad if the Patriots do jump out with a big lead. But then again, it's Brady, so I feel like wherever the Patriots are, they're dangerous. So it's definitely going to be a close game. Let me give my final score prediction video, my final score prediction right here in this video. I'm going to go Rams 34, Pats 28. Is that, I don't know, that's kind of random. I hope that makes numerical sense with points and everything. But yeah, I'm going to roll with that. That's it for this video, guys. Make sure you drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe. Peace out.